Yesterday we were talking about kind of how energized the offense feels this week. With Seiler back there. Have you felt the same way?
I always wait to see when we play. It's always going to come down to execution. And, I think Seiler's done a good job this week preparing. I think he's very much into football and spent a lot of time, not just this week, but so it's good for him to get a chance, see what he can do.
How has he responded this week to all the rest?
He's really been the same throughout. He really has. From the summer when he came back to fall camp, it's been very steady, very even keel, and it's been good to see.
Have you noticed a change at all just in the team in general, whether it's that or just Saturday's performance and bouncing back?
Like I said, I always got to wait for the, practice is one thing. I think they're focused in. I still think we've got a long way to go in terms of cleaning up a lot of details and learning the systems that we're trying to get in. There's still a lot of work to be had.
You had said all summer and off season that you guys felt behind just being the only new staff in the Pac-12. Does it feel like you're closing the gap a little bit, or are you still?
No,
it does feel like you have a ways to go.
I feel it more now than ever before because I think when you get into the season and you're trying to game plan, it makes things a little bit harder because it's like, hey, well, we know all this stuff, and it doesn't matter what we know. They have to know it and know it flat out as well as we do. And that's going to take a while. They just don't have the backlog of, remember when we ran this back when? And so it's going to take some time.
Did you expect to run the ball a little bit better than you did on Saturday?
Yeah, I always expect to run the ball better. There's been very few times where you say, hey, we're good, because, I just think you always got to run the ball to play good offensive football. And, again, I said before, I think Hawaii does a nice job. They got some stout guys. But do I think we can play better and run the ball better? We have to, and we need to.
Was that last drive a nice way to finish it? Did you build some momentum off that at least?
I felt a different intensity, and it can't come in the last series. If we can show up with that intensity and maintain it, then I think we can get something done. But easier said than done.
Did Levon earn some more carries by the way he ran the ball last week, or?
Yeah, I think so. I thought he did a good job, and he really hasn't missed a beat since spring ball. And I'm anxious to see what he can do and see if he can be even more productive.
You talked the other day about some of the hurdles that you put in front of Seiler over the offseason to earn his place back. And what were those, and how did he handle it?
Well, I think we keep the hurdles, always kind of internal. But everything that we asked him to do, he did. And, time will tell. But he's done everything that we wanted him to do. He's been a very good teammate. I do believe he's, learned. I think he's remorseful. I think he's humbled by it, all those type of things.
You get a better sense for his skill set this week, or what you can plan around a game plan for him?
Hard for me to say without being in a game. I do feel a pretty strong competitive nature from him. I think he likes to play. I think he likes to compete. I get a good feel there, but it's all fun and games at the driving range, as we say.
Did you get a sense from players that there was a great deal of respect he had to earn back, that there were guys who were questioning him after the incident, or do you think that they were kind of cool with him no matter how it shook out?
I didn't really have a feel one way or the other, really. And I didn't even think about that. I just thought, right is right, wrong is wrong, and where are we, and what do we need to do to make this thing right and go forward.
Same question as last week. Is there any chance Troy gets a shot if you guys are up by a fair margin, or is that not really in the realm of possibility?
Well, I don't even think about up or down. There's always that possibility, without question. And I think anybody that's on a roster, it's going to try that. And you have to prepare like that, and certainly at that position. And so there's always that possibility.
Have you still seen Troy kind of fighting for that spot, even though Jeff was a starter and now Seiler? Have you noticed that out of him yet?
I thought Troy's done a nice job this week, and preparing and really staying strong. And it's not hard. These guys are all really. It is hard, I should say. All these guys are really, really competitive, and they want to play so bad. And at that quarterback position, there's only one. We play a bunch of receivers, a bunch of DBs and linebackers, and quarterback you usually play one, and so that's hard. But we just keep preaching the same message. You're going to get your chance sooner or later. I don't know what that chance is, but I know you're going to get it. And when you get it, you got to be ready to produce.
As you start to put together your future non-conference schedules over the next so many years, well, do you have an idea of what you'd like those to look like? And what kind of teams you'd like to play on an annual basis?
Not really. Scott and I have had some discussions. It's such a tricky thing anyways. It's like who's available, who will give us home and home, that a lot of that narrows down. I think you can put together an ideal schedule on paper, and it usually doesn't turn out like that. I mean, it was really, really hard for us at Boise to get some things done, and I think it's only going to get tougher. So we'll kind of take that. I think it's scheduled out for the next few years, and I think we'll see how this whole thing plays out in terms of the national playoff system, and you have to, just so much speculation. I think the next few years things will start to settle down, and you kind of see what everybody really needs to do.
I guess what is your non-conference schedule this year kind of compare to what you'd like, or is this ideal?
Yeah, I don't really know. I just think so much about our team, and whoever we play. It doesn't matter if it's Hawaii, Illinois, Eastern. We just got to take care of ourselves, and a lot of that has to do with Scott and our administration, who we can get, what makes sense, what our fans want to see, and that coupled with, I do think we play in an unbelievable league that every week is going to be a battle. So I do think we got to keep that in mind as well.
Given your last experience in the stadium, a lot has changed since then. Can you just talk about your emotions heading into the game and this being your first home game?
Yeah.
Any sentimental thing there?
I mean, I'm excited to be here. I really am. I'm excited to play a home game. I've always had so much respect and admiration for, the energy in the stadium, so I'm excited to see that. And then hopefully that fuels our team to play inspired football.
Pete, so much has been made. Tuesday, the defensive coaches talked about Vernon Adams.
Yeah.
They mentioned, I think, Johnny Manziel, Fran Tarkington, Russell Wilson. Is he just that unique a talent?
I think he's really, really good. I mean, he's a really, really good player. Quarterback. He's deadly accurate. Gets the ball out quick. When guys are covered, he's very athletic and mobile, but he's not looking to just run, although he does that very well. He keeps his eyes downfield. He's still trying to find his guys that are open. He does that. I mean, he just really plays the game well. I have a tremendous amount of respect for this guy.
Is that what kind of college football the trend has become, those dual threat guys? Does it feel like you almost have to have a guy that has some running ability nowadays?
I think that always, brings another element to the table that is hard to defend. There's nothing more frustrating as a defensive coach when you got everybody covered, you've done the right thing, and there goes the quarterback run, and that's really, really hard. Do I think there's a lot of good quarterbacks that aren't super mobile that can really lead an offense? Yeah, I do, but we like our quarterback to be able to do that. When things are covered, get some yards with your legs.
You had a pretty good one at Boise that didn't do much running there.
Like I said, I think he had a negative rushing total when he left. So there's different ways you can skin the cat.
There's the old axiom that biggest improvement for a team is from week 1
Yeah.
to week 2. Do you buy into that? Do you sense
I
that?
think there should be a lot of improvement, but I will say this: it's a much different style team that we're going against. Their offense is all about throwing it and spreading you out. Hawaii was pretty much about pounding it. And then on defense, I think their style is much different as well. But just in general, I think we should see some things that look different. But it'll be a unique challenge because they are so different than what we played last week.
How would you describe Eastern's defensive look?
Especially
compared to
Hawaii, very much blitz-oriented. And not that everybody doesn't have their blitz packages, but that's what they were going to do, a heavy dose of. And kind of a unique blitz patterns. And so, this team hasn't shown that they're as blitz heavy as the other guys have. Now that I say that, we'll definitely get that. So we'll be ready.
Looks like last night you got your Twitter career off to a good
Oh,
start.
yeah. Big, what was it, 4 letters? Yeah, starting slow. I'll build up to it.
Well, is it just one of those things where you're just going to kind of see where it takes you, or
We'll
do you
see
have a
where it
specific
goes.
idea in mind when you?
Well, like I said, really the main reason that I got the account is to communicate you know, our recruits and those things, and then we'll see how it goes, and maybe communicate a little bit to Husky Nation as well.
All right.